Mr. Buffett is often quoted as saying that his assistant pays at a higher tax rate than he does because of the disparity between the long-term capital gain and ordinary income tax rates. The implication is that taxes should be much higher on people like himself. However, I note that Mr. Buffett has donated virtually 100% of his estate to charitable organizations. Because he has owned his Berkshire shares for many, many years with no dividend distributions, it is virtually certain that the bulk of his estate will therefore never be subject to taxation by the U.S. government. My question is that if Mr. Buffett feels that he should pay more taxes, how should the tax system be changed?
Well, you could have a wealth tax, would be one way. I mean, you could tax, I don't know how many countries do that now, Charlie. In effect, you have that with a property tax in certain ways, but you could have a wealth tax. And I would say this, he is absolutely correct. If you want to give away all of your money, it's a terrific tax dodge. Although I will say this also, in the tax return I just filed, on the charitable contributions line, I have an unused carry forward of something over $7 billion that I haven't gotten a deduction for. But I welcome the question or anybody else following my tax dodge example and giving away their money. They will save a lot of taxes that way, and the money will probably do a lot of good. Taxes. If we continue to spend 25 or 26% of GDP as a country, and we made those elections to our representatives, we are not going to be able to keep taxation at 15%. We've got a deficit commission. You couldn't have two better guys than Erskine Bowles and Alan Simpson heading it. I mean, you have got two classy individuals there. They're smart, they're decent, people like to work with them. I mean, the president made a great choice in picking those two. But in the end, they're going to have to recommend, and it'll be some combination of taxes quite a bit higher and expenditures quite a bit lower, and then they won't be quite as popular as they are today. And I doubt very much if you're going to be able to increase taxes significantly as a percentage of GDP and do it essentially from taxing lower income people a higher amount. So it's going to be an interesting equation to solve. And I wish them the very best. They're two terrific fellows. Charlie, what do you have to say about taxes?
Well, I think those who worry about your unfairly low taxes should be consoled by the fact that eventually you pay 100%. When you die and they ask, how much did old Warren leave? The answer will be, I believe he left it all.
And I hope they emphasize old. No, it's kind of interesting. I mean, just take Berkshire. Essentially, I will never sell a share of Berkshire. But I've known that for a long, long, long time. So basically, and that's fine. If I was a trustee for some trust and they own Berkshire, which in effect I am, it's a lot of fun to run and everything, and I've got everything in life I could possibly need, and I always will. And in the end, because Berkshire's done well, we can give away the rest. Now, if you want, you can argue that if I gave it all to the federal government instead of giving it to the charities, society would be better off, but I don't think many of you would want to hold that position.